raise, actually. So this is kind of like musical chairs a little bit for fish123. Soulcast moving over to the silver. This could work, though, because a double duelist is a big dedication. One that doesn't quite work a lot of the time. But losing a raise or mixing out on a raise on this map is certainly going to be awkward. Fish123 changing up their roster a little bit. And it's staying roughly the same for PartyParrots 2. The raise is in play for Xiao. Let's see how those guys sort of deal with stuff going forward. Not too much going on, so let's have a look at what the attacking team is doing. Look at this execution as it comes in. It's a good start, though, as Angel gets the first frag onto Cryptix, who was actually holding his ground pretty well. Is still there, and Shell's going to try and flush him out with the blast packs. Takes the peek, and Diggs is there to help to try and get that frag. 4 versus 2, and the 2 are towards CT and walled off with the smoke, so the planet is going to come in. Let's just see exactly where PartyParrots try to settle on this retake. With relative ease, Artist is able to get the double kill as that goes in. And another good start for PartyParrots on this attack. They won all of the pistol rounds on Bind, and they're looking to do somewhat of a similar trend, at least. But Fish did manage to sort of break the economy a little bit by winning the second round on their attack when they were 1-0 down to PartyParrots, I guess it would be. See how this now plays out. A lot of mid-pressure put on from both sides, most certainly towards fish123. They're stacked up. All 5 members are holding at this point. The layer comes out, and it's a bit of an awkward battle, but it's actually fish123 that win it without taking any form of sacrifice for it. So the group up play, the gang on, so to speak, really worked out nicely. Dinks is on A. And you don't really want to get overzealous now if you're fish123. You have the man advantage. You don't have spike control. You can get the kill on Dinks. That would be super good here, but you can't be complacent, which is something that I feel that Link might be a bit careful of. They know that the race is down there. They aren't quite sure how much pressure they're able to take up, because look at Dinks. He's making his way through. Paranoia's going to hit, and he tries to go for the spray. Link is there. He's going to try and help out, but this is still awkward. Dinks hasn't taken all that much damage, to be honest. The spray is going to be okay, and gets the headshot onto Eccles, and even gets the kill onto Link. A 5 versus 2 has turned into a 3 versus 2. Dinks is getting more, and this is disaster. Screamy is backed up all of the way. It's now 1 versus 1 between the 2 duelist agents. Forced to pick up the Spectre from distance. He's going to try and get the spray in, and does manage to get so onto Xiao. Ooh, that could have been real awkward for fish123 there, but nevertheless, they win out the engagement, get the defuse in, and take the second round. They're really good at sort of forcing these rounds after pistols. I think it worked out really nicely. Nobody picked this map, technically. It was teams chose bands, and then fish123 chose the map. Scream is going to be facing off a lot of people if he decides to take that battle mid, but it's even more scary to see that he's giving up heaven near enough completely for free. Soulcast is there to sort of flank. Now Soulcast is going to recon bolt around, but Screamy is going to try and help. They aren't quite sure how much is there, and they don't have all the utility in the world to stop this push coming in, but they know that there's multiple there. Screamy is primed for this. but he's going to give a lot of respect there as Link actually catches out Diggs pushing up mid again, and is going to run into the majority of the people coming up this wall, up the ropes. The wall is a good one though. The slows are going to cause a bit more of a problem. The crossfire is good and protects Link, who is using himself as bait, but it forces PartyParrots to make their way back. They have to sort of back out and rotate towards B, somewhere that we see Soulcast looking at. He doesn't quite spot it, and Shao is going to punish that with the headshot. Cryptix is still on site, still has his camera and a few tripwires to protect him for anybody pushing down B main, but isn't quite sure how much headway they have made. Angel makes nice contact with him, gets the frag. 3 versus 3, the spike is going to get planted, the sage wall is down. Fish123 having to make the long road from A to B to try and stop this, and that smoke is going to make things even more awkward for them to try and find a way in. The placement, I suppose, of Fish123 is decent, but so is PartyParrots. They're spread out, they're trying to look at different angles. Angel tries to take an engagement, and he's not going to get any help from the top, and even then he's keeping a close eye on it at least. Scream is trying to make his way through, isn't quite sure. Angel gets some damage in, kills Link, who's onto heaven. The two defenders now trying to work out where these players are stacked upon. There's going to be a double peek there, and Screamy lets his teammate die. He's trying to work out exactly where people are, and Shao holds it off. Seemed like a bit of a save, I'm assuming so, from the thrifty text from PartyParrots. Fish123 were thrown all the way around the map, and it just didn't work as well as they maybe hoped. Shao heads narrowly misses the recon bolt, and Soulcast is again forced out to an early engagement they didn't want against Angel. There's a double peek going towards B main, but nobody's really going to be there for that to punish, so they may just press back, they may continue forward. They're a bit undecided from the looks of the mini-map, but the action is on A, or mid, sorry, that's why I'm staying on the perspective of Shao. The defenders of Fish123 need to be careful on B, because now they're sort of headed over to A. They're rotating a bit preemptively, and Heaven is completely given up. This is a big key part of the map that's been given up for free, but I think that a paint chill is probably going to be a signal there. Scream is going to head towards that direction, but they're all going to head towards A. Like, they're giving up the B site entirely. They're trying to stack there, but nothing's really happening. So as soon as that plant comes in, they're going to feel pretty silly. The guns aren't great, though, so maybe it's just a case of just wait this one out. Save the guns that we have. If we bought armor, save them. They have a Phantom with Link. So this is just going to be another save coming out of Fish123 very early in the game. I guess for now we can just... Oop, drop my phone. Let this one play out the way that it's going. Another round for PartyParrots. They are going to go 3-1 up. And as a reminder, if they win this game, they go to the semi-finals to play against 2G4L. And if Fish123 lose, they are out. Easy favourites when this tournament first started. A lot has changed since then. They have to sort of win back that reputation that's slowly been dwindling with bad results and a lack of showing in a lot of tournaments too. Pressure is yet again put on mid. The ultimate's worked for PartyParrots, so they don't need to worry too much about the utility that they have available to them, so it's not going to be too much of a push. I haven't really seen too much of a good job done by Fish123 when it comes to holding Heaven. I mean, we saw it in the previous game. Would have been with 2G Pharrell with the Sage player. I'm trying to remember who it was. Sind, yeah. Sind did a really good job, and a lot of pressure pushed on, and it forces Link away from the site. Angel was going to give chase, but it's decided against it. Now Cryptics and Screaming are going to be holding fairly close onto B Heaven, setting up maybe a bit of a crossfire. And they're just waning this so far. Scream gets some damage in, gets a kill onto Dinks, and must have seen more, so they know that it's going to be an A push. Resurrect is going to be forced out to bring the Cypher, and it's going to try and catch out whoever else is left. Soulcast is there, but Cryptics has rotated all the way around. Even 3 versus 3, using the bin boost to see what he can see. And they need to be very careful behind him, as that's where Shao is. Doing the lurking roll pretty well, and Eccles is sort of preparing to lurk, but Shao manages to punish that. Disappears regardless, and Screamy pushes out. Artist gets that frag. No, it's just going to be Cryptic, so 1 versus 3. Tries to take the fight from distance. Does get Artist. Does have to reload, though, and Dinks catches him completely off guard, and this is really not going well for the defending side of fish123. Like this pressure that PartyParrots are constantly putting on A, they tend to have some of these like anchor players, like certainly Dinks on A was holding there. Keeps the interest and the positioning, I suppose, of players like Link and Eccles that are positioned where exactly the Omen is now. Forces them to play super close to try and scatter out that intel and force utility in their general direction too. And right now, look, the rotation is coming in already. All Cryptics is doing is just sitting around. Nothing's happened just yet, but Link does get the kill onto Angel. And that frag does show how important it is to keep a hold on B, as the majority of PartyParrots are now starting to spread out on the minimap. You can see it yourselves. Heaven, yet again, giving up in its entirety. Fish123 just want to play this on ground level. I'm not against it, but this is a lot of space being taken for near enough no resistance for PartyParrots. Peek is going to come out. Soulcast can actually get quite a lot done, as can Cryptics. That play actually worked. I mean, I'll hold my hands up and say that I was very critical there, but it's worked out super well for Fish123. Maybe they don't want to go up against these engagements, certainly close quarters engagements against a Raze and a Brimstone and a Breach more specifically. They control the site, they can catch the plant going in, but if they play too close, they're forcing 1v1 engagements almost, so maybe that's it. But there's a lot of stuff that Fish123 have available to work with them. They have 2 ultimates. 2 ultimates? They have 4 ultimates. They have 2 rounds, but 4 ultimates is what I was going to say. Shao is the point of the spear that's going to be starting to push in. What a hell of a spear that's going to be when the showstopper was dedicated. Locks onto Cryptics, gets the frag. Screamy could get Angel as they're pushing in. But Screamy was taken down, having the Empress too. That's 2 ultimates not available for Fish123 in this upcoming round. The plant went in relatively smoothly for the attackers, and even more damage was done. Link is the last one alive. Has the Resurrect. Do you use it in a round like this? Or do you just try and save? What's the money like? Not ideal, really. Maybe enough to buy next, and I think that's what it's going to be for Link. He's just going to save and get out of there. Can't really come back from this. I expected this to be a closer match than maybe we would see in the future, but... Oh, in the past, sorry. I don't know what's wrong with me today. My words are just blah 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 blah. After this game, at 6 p.m. CEST, about an hour and 40 from now, we will have started from CS versus Fordham Boars. Started from CS, I also think up there as favourites to win the tournament in general. Fordham Boars might have something to say about that. Then 9 p.m. later on tonight, it's going to be the fourth and final quarterfinal of Prodigy versus Worst Players. The semi-finals will be this time tomorrow, 11 a.m. CEST and 3 p.m. CEST. 2G4L will be facing off against whoever wins this game at the earliest point. And the semi number 2, started from CS for the Boars, Prodigy Worst Players, will be played at 3 p.m. CS2 CST. And then at 6 p.m. CST will be the grand finals of whoever wins that. All ends this weekend in amazing fashion. And Eccles and Link are able to open up the scoring with some nice first bloods. They have all 5 of their ultimates. There's still quite a few rounds to go on his defense, so you don't really need to flush them out too much. 3 members on this attack now. One of which having the Rolling Thunder, and that's going to be SSK. Artist gets caught out in the slow orb and drops the spike. SSK is going to try and roll in Thunder, roughly where the operator is looking for Eccles. Might decide against it. He's going to peek out, but oh, Eccles just misses, and SSK does not. The operator is out of play, and that's a really bad paint shell, actually. Coming out of Shao, he can't win them all. Link is holding right in front of here on the box. SSK just snatches to him. Hell of a shot. He's really weighing down the numbers of fish123 now, but Screamy, this is what you need, and this is what we need to see more of. Comes in with brilliant headshots onto the 2 surviving members of PartyParrots. This game isn't done at all. The economy is going to look good for fish123. It's not looking bad for PartyParrots, but the economy for ultimates, well, I think it's very clear to see who's winning that one. Thank you for everybody that's tuning in today. There is a Russian stream. I don't have the connections to it, but I'm sure if you looked online, I think the Prodigy Twitter will have those information, but Link scouts out a lot of intel himself, but sacrifices his own life in order to grab it. And that's a Resurrect not available now for fish123 yet again. And the teleport was... the running back was a bit over egregious, actually. Eccles teleporting from the A site all the way to B and just walking back. But it did make PartyParrots panic a little bit from the looks of it. You can see the positioning and the way that they're taking these engagements is very slow now. Near enough a minute wasted. Cryptix is going to be watching this angle. Mostly in the camera, but he's only right around this corner. Spots a bit more and knows that there's 2 right there. He's going to hold this off angle. Going to run into Artist who just doesn't miss those kind of shots. Screamy, however, gets a kill on the Dinks. Empress is available. Hunter's Fury is available. Lazauskas shows that he doesn't really need it. It's just going to spam shock darts roughly around to default, or at least in that corner. And even throw it in the owl drone. Screamy gets caught out by Shao, so even in a 2 versus 2, has a rough idea where people are. The Hunter's Fury is going to be thrown across, but doesn't really catch anybody at all. It doesn't really get the chance to fire in a third. Even a recon bolt isn't finding all that much intel. You just got to win this normally. Lazauskas goes for a 4th. Shao gets his 3rd. He's the one that's getting in all of these frags. Gets a 4th. You really didn't expect PartyParrots to be able to win that one, but they did. And fish123, so they have a lot of mistakes to sort of have a look at. Sliggy, their coach, is going to be watching this thinking, what can we sort of do to fix some of these gaps in our play? Because that's how it feels that they're playing. Free ultimate's still available for fish123. They still have guns. It's a bit of a force for some players, but not for some others. Eccles having the operator, and is seeming to be the operator player now from now on, now that Artist has moved on to wherever the hell he's gone. Wherever he is, he's having a great old time. not raining here in Bristol. It's a great metaphor for fish123's career. Blistering heatwave in the closed beta, but a little bit of drizzle and a few thunderstorms come in. I need to stop with these like really cliche sort of chats, but the attack is coming in now. Eccles is playing on the site with the operator, positioning. He's giving up and he's getting sprayed down quite a lot. Diggs just catches him out in the smoke. Screamy holding far back to see if anybody's going to push him towards the high ground on A. And Angel just brings it to a 1 versus 5. Perfectly flawless run, it seems, from PartyParrots yet again. None of those ultimates have really been used from fish123. It's like they don't know when and how to use them. And you guys in chat are... oh, it says pause due to scroll. I didn't realize. I thought you guys were just not talking. Alright, it's a lot of Russian anyway, so I can't read it. Oh man, what to do, what to do. The defense has been a rough old one for fish123, but maybe their attack would be a lot better. It feels like we haven't really got to see much out of them this game. We know that the skill's there. This is one of the best teams in Europe we're talking about that's just having a bad run of form. But I can tell you, if they turn this around and start to become a powerhouse yet again, they're definitely signing material. I think both these teams should really be signed to endemic orgs. Been a few rumors about fish123 being a Team Liquid lineup, as we mentioned, but I would personally love to see PartyParrots donning a Na'Vi jersey. I think that would be a great fit. And Angel has agreed by getting a frag onto Link. 2 players down already for fish123, and the Resurrect is yet again not going to be available to use. Cryptix tries to get a lot done. It's an eco, really. It's a force. Well, half-bite's not a force at all. Screaming out dedicates the Empress, and even Eccles is getting in on this now. So this, and now 2v2, but now it's going to be the one player.
You will not kill my allies.
Ultimate of Resurrect from Artist is now given to Shao, who's going to run right into Screamy yet again, who isn't quite sure where he is, but Screamy just missing the headshots awkwardly. He's going to run towards a bit farther to wrap around. It's keeping the attention of the Sage, who's looking, but probably hears all of this clomping and bunny hopping and stuff, and is going to maybe try and beat them around there. The positioning, I suppose, of PartyParrots here is going to be a pretty good one. Artist is holding back on the ropes, and Dinks is backing off. So if Reina wants to go for the defuse, they could do if they wanted to. Get a nice breeze in from the rain, I think it is. Empress is 1 off, so the ultimate is no longer in use. The spike is out in the open, so he's going to try and clear the site, but as he sort of checks towards Heaven, Artist gets that headshot onto Screamy. In a real lack of consistency, it feels. A lot of Russians. I guess you're here to find fish123, of course. I wonder what kind of fish are native to Russia. I wonder what parrots are native to Russia. I don't think any, right? Shao gets the first frag. Playing the operator, catches off Cryptix that just tries to push up. There is another one that's looking to peek, and that being Screamy. He gives it a little bit of headway, rightly so, as the we did see the boom bob being used. It did catch off that intel. The Shao's going to take this carefully. Screamy using the layer, but doesn't peek it, just gets instantly destroyed. The last round of this half. And it seems yet again fish123 have a pretty big deficit. The Resurrect is good to bring back Cryptix, but Artist is there to punish both of them. holds that angle. Echoes is able to get some damage done to PartyParrots by killing Dinks, who was anchoring onto the A site. Shao has the recon bolt attached to them, so he's given up all their positioning, so it's going to move around. The rotate's going to be good, but it is going to be Artist there that's going to meet them towards CT. Going to run right into Echoes. He misses his shot. Artist gets his fourth. Can get the ace. Nah, I can't. Screamy's going to say, no, you are not allowed, sir. Spike is planted, the showstopper's good, and it's going to be thrown towards where he roughly assumed Screamy was going to be, and it was a good assumption, a good frag. 9-3 for PartyParrots now on this side, and I have to work out where the observing is going to go from now. So let's work this out real quick. It's actually the same as it was before, which is bizarre to say the least. So it does muddle it up, but in a particular order. Okay. Very little happening on this attack thus far, at least it seems. Screamy's going to rotate all the way around with the spike. B-side is looking to be hit, but I think Shao will have a few things to say about that. Holding the classic from distance, doesn't have a paint shell, used it kind of early. The recon bolt is going to find too much too, but the lair is going to force Shao away from the high ground onto site. Screamy gets the first pick onto Dinks, but the throw-in of the blast pack is good. He gets a headshot in, but that's really all he can manage. Angel, though, is willing to help out and can even get more done. Just two members now on this attack. The spike is left in no man's land, and Angel is coming to the rescue. Ready over, but does get downed. Artist is trying to do more and peeks out for the friend. This is an awkward engagement for Soulcaster. Just can't get those frags. And Artist in particular has shown up a huge amount in both of these maps that we've seen so far. 10-3. This is dominant for PartyParrots and pretty desperate for Fish. He gets the first to get the frag. Excuse me for just sort of watching as it unfolded. The heal is going to bring it onto themselves, but Angel from the heights is going to get that kill. So now it's all up to him to try and hold off the onslaught of people that are now coming in. It's going to be just left for Soulcast, and it's an easy spray down. Only 2 more rounds to win for PartyParrots to get to the semis. And it feels like fish123 need to win like 10 in a row. This has not been good from them. Not a good showing at all. Screamy is having a much better game when it comes to individual performance, but it's hard to say really what's going wrong. I don't know how much they've scrimmed together with this lineup. I don't know how much it's something that they are really focusing on. Maybe there's like a big announcement where the 5th is... You know, it's just for this tournament that they're playing with Scream and anyone else that they're playing with... another particular group. Who really knows at this point? What we do know is that PartyParrots are looking incredibly good and even better than what we saw them earlier on this week. really holding this one off now. Really all that much, not much happening, it feels like. Cryptix is able to open up a first kill now, an important one considering the circumstances. And Screamy has made his way onto the site, but does get down. Cryptix is still there to sort of help out, though. He's going to win into a nice fight, but Artist still manages to win it out. He's been doing so well and even has the resurrect this early into the game. Means that now this is a real man advantage to the CIS squad, even fragging out a little bit further. It's just going to be a Link left, and again, even before I can try to find how to spectate on him, Shao gets his 30s down, and this would be a terrible way for fish123 to go out the tournament. 12-3. This is more of a blowout than the Dream Chasers game. Down on their luck, to say the least, but hard to really put your finger on in particulars of things that are going wrong. It just feels that they can't keep up with an exceptional PartyParrots team, you know? I think everybody that plays against this roster is going to lose in this similar fashion. We all know how good the CIS region can be when it comes to Counter-Strike. It's a similar sort of thing. Link gets the first pick, but Lazauskas is refragged in a similar position, so it's still 4 versus 4. Never mind as Artist gets another kill onto mid, taking out Cryptix. There's no ultimates available, and the buy is awkward, really, if you're still looking at what fish123 have. It's not bad, but it's not great either. It's now 2 versus 4. Eccles tries to fight. The lair is a sketchy one that doesn't catch him, but Shao in the smoke kills on Screamy. All up for Eccles. And the Parrots beat the Fish, and they've done so in incredibly dominant fashion. I think we're looking at a team that's likely to win this tournament. I don't know about you, chat, but they've taken out very early favourites in this tournament that have had a torrid time, and this result just adds to it. Fish123 are out, and PartyParrots win it 13-3 on split. It's a bit closer on bind, but not all by that much. And certainly sad to see that happening to a team that's been very much played together quite a lot. You can see actually how many First Bloods Link was able to get. The Sage player of all people, able to sort of break the deadlock. But yet they only won 3 rounds, and there's I guess a real breakdown story there to sort of work out as things are going on. You even see some of the rounds that fish123 won. They only defused 1. But as a Brit, I'm sad. But I'm very excited to see the semi-final, which will be happening tomorrow between Too Good For LAN versus PartyParrots. I think PartyParrots are going to be firm winners on that one too. But regardless, that's the score. And I'm still just as shocked as you are, maybe. Maybe you're not shocked at all, who knows. That's going to do it for me today, but we still have more games of Valorant to come. We have the other 2 quarterfinals coming in about an hour and 25 minutes. Another long break. These games are going by fairly quickly. But at about 6 p.m. CEST, we're going to be having, started from CS, playing against Ford on Boars. Another interesting lineup started from CS. Haven't played in a few weeks either, so I'm really interested to see what lineup they run, how it looks, and if there's certain particular players missing, they may be going to a new squad. You don't know that, but that's going to do it for me tomorrow. You can catch me at the semi-finals and probably the finals tomorrow. But you're going to be in the very prominent hands of Laz, who's going to be casting that quarterfinal.